Hohenzollern royal family quick history. The Centenary of the Kaiser Adolf Hitler, the Hohenzollern royal family flag, and Monogram 2023, Part 1. The Hohenzollern Imperial family monogram flag, designed by then Prince Imperial Adolf Hitler the Hohenzollern, was first copyrighted in 1923. Therefore, the incident that caused a copy of the flag, known afterwards as the Blutfahne, to become stained with the bullet wound blood of some of Adolf's homosexual friends from that city was also in 1923. The incident was the precursor to a putsch attempt against the government of Germany, erroneously known as the Beer Hall Putsch. Prince Imperial Adolf Hitler the Hohenzollern designed a new royal family monogram for himself in 1923. It was based on a diagram of his imperial lineage chart, displaying the two sub-branches from Kaiser Friedrich Wilhelm IV to himself, and now me. The two official sub-branches eventually caused Kaiser Adolf to be successor to his cousin Kaiser Wilhelm II. They had the same grandfather, and their grandmothers were half-sisters. He drew up the chart, took note of how the connecting lines looked similar to the spelling of the names Hitler and Hohenzollern, and ended up drawing them crossed over together. He decided to neaten it up by making the symbol symmetrical, and labeled it his new, double-sided monogram. It looks like it is based on the letters of the names Hitler or Hohenzollern, depending on which side you look at it from. He then designed a new royal Hohenzollern family flag for himself, using the white circle from his uncle Kaiser Friedrich IV's flag, in the colors of his grandfather Kaiser Wilhelm I's horizontally striped flag. Plain red, off-white circle, with off-black monogram. They were officially registered and copyrighted to my royal Hohenzollern family, with the help of former Kaiser Prince Wilhelm II. They were processed by the Patent Office in 1923, which likely alerted evil idiot Albert Einstein to their existence. Royal authorization was verified by the German Supreme Court. In late 1923, Prince Imperial Adolf was abducted during an armed attack on a gay bar in München. He shyly snuck a copy of the new flag into the bar to quietly show some friends privately, before anything public to announce it and display it had been planned. He went into the bar, showed it to them, they took photos of him holding it, he explained how he came up with it, and then it was draped over a bar stool while they bought him a quiet, overly large drink. The bar was then suddenly illegally raided by disheveled people with guns, who sprayed bullets at the people Adolf was drinking with from behind him. While he was staring in shock, not fully aware of what was happening, they grabbed him from behind and dragged him out of the bar pretending he was the shooter. He yelled, "What do you mean? I don't even carry a gun." The flag was still on the bar stool, and was splattered with blood from his homosexual friend's bullet wounds in the process. As Adolf was taken out of the bar, he looked back at his friends, and got a glimpse of pressure being applied to bullet wounds, with men prone on the floor. The incident was horribly traumatic. Prince Imperial Adolf was detained in an empty jail that had been partially condemned. He was told he was suspected of perpetrating the shooting, and if any of his friends died, he would be charged with murder. He was illegally detained in the empty jail indefinitely. His bedding was laundered, they washed his clothes, cleaned his cell, fed him meals, took photographs, allowed him to use amenities, and offered him writing implements and paper. But there was nothing else, not even radio. They claimed he was under investigation for being the shooter in the incident. After 13 months, he was suddenly told he was being released without charge, and he had been cleared of any wrongdoing. His personal belongings were returned to him, which included the blood-stained flag. It had been casually washed, then dried on a clothes line. He was talked to as if they would call him a taxi to anywhere he wanted to go, there and then, at their expense. He was immediately outraged. He demanded arrests, treason charges, and compensation. Legal negotiations resulted in 1.3 million Deutsche Marks compensation for wrongful imprisonment and wrongful arrest. 100,000 for every month he was in jail. He agreed in exchange for not pressing imperial or civil charges against the people who released him. They vowed the perpetrators would be held accountable. After his release from jail, he tried to re-establish his personal relationships, and quickly find out what happened to his friends in the gay bar the night he was abducted. He had not been given any updates on their medical condition the whole time he was in jail. People who were quite relieved he was accounted for as safe and well told him there was an attempt at a violent coup against the German government whilst he was missing. It had failed, with order restored weeks before he was released. There had been riots, gunfire in the streets, armed forces deployed, attacks on major buildings, and fatalities. He missed the whole thing. Prince Imperial Adolf immediately organized memorials erected for the victims, including his gay friends, and a memorial march held every year on the date he was abducted from the gay bar in 1923. He used his writings in jail to complete a book, becoming somewhat of a recluse after his release, with the stained flag, nicknamed the Blutfahne, near him frequently. Prince Imperial Adolf later used the compensation to go into politics with the new union-based Nazi Workers' Party in around 1927. It was during that time that he formed a closer private and public friendship with his older ineligible brother Ernst Röhm. In the subsequent election campaign leading up to the vote in 1933, his party started wearing Prince Imperial Adolf's royal monogram flag on armbands as support for his eventual coronation as monarch of Germany. In the 1933 election, he won his seat. Prince Imperial Adolf Hitler the Hohenzollern, the Kaiser of Germany to be since 1918, was unexpectedly elected Chancellor of Germany by Parliament during the first week of the new term in 1933. He was photographed celebrating his election victory with Ernst. The Blutfahne incident in the gay bar in München on the 9th of November 1923, and the compensation awarded afterwards, was the main catalyst for then Prince Imperial Adolf going into politics. Theoretically, given the constitutional monarchy referendum result in 1900, he should have already been Kaiser of Germany, and politics would not have been on the agenda at all. If he had not gone into politics, he would likely never have made any regular public speeches, apart from casually speaking at events like the Berlin Olympics, charity fundraisers, and openings as head of the monarchy. Most of the speeches made by Kaiser Adolf available on the internet are the fully recorded practice rehearsals in empty venues, edited to look like the final product delivered at the official event. Prince Imperial Adolf regularly used the Blutfahne at official events, sometimes inviting people to approach him and touch the blood-stained flag with their own. In 1940, after Kaiser Adolf was coronated, the copyright holder's name was altered to reflect the fact he had been officially crowned monarch. I am the second owner, and there is nobody else eligible to take over the German origin restricted royal family copyright. Morons who pretend the Monogram and Flag was designed by, copyrighted to, or taken over by the neo-Nazis when they declared their terrorism group by name in December 1943 are creating a lunatic logic gap of 20 years with a claim. Both were first copyrighted to my royal Hohenzollern family in 1923, when Wilhelm II was still alive. If those people insist on pretending the Monogram and Flag were first designed by neo-Nazis in 1943, after Wilhelm II died, they will not be able to get adulterated historical material about the Blutfahne incident in 1923 removed from media. Simply because fake history lunatics playing Reputation Othello with historical events fictionalized the incident to attempt to blame then Prince Imperial Adolf for the putsch he missed completely. As if Prince Imperial Adolf tried to overthrow the German government himself in 1923, starting with the Beer Hall Blutfahne incident on the 9th of November, then was elected to parliament democratically 10 years later. Kaiser Adolf was never convicted of a criminal offense in his lifetime.